All right. Let's just get right into it. We are here very early. I literally probably just clocked out of work a couple minutes ago. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here for an early and what's going to end up being short because I've got plans tonight. But short, but effective setup reading of Higurashi for the big finale on Saturday. Before we continue in this, couple things. One, Higurashi finale live on Twitch Saturday, aiming to start in that 12 to 1 range, my time, Central Time in the States. So, I think this stream, this is one you're watching if you're watching on YouTube, VOD, I think is going up Friday. It should be. All things, I think Friday technically there will be 2 streams that go up, but more about that later. But basically, this, if you're watching on Friday, the day of, or I guess early Saturday, you have a chance to make it to the Twitch page early on Saturday. It's not a Saturday night stream, so if you're like, time zones don't work for me normally, there you go. So yes, Higurashi finale, big finale stream should be happening Saturday, if all, assuming nothing goes wrong. There you go. There's that. Second thing, gotta say, so I did go back to work today after quite some time off. Did confirm tomorrow. I got a work thing tomorrow night after my normal work hours. I have like a work, what do we call it? Function. I don't know what to call it. But that's happening into the night. So I am not streaming tomorrow. I'm going to get back late to my place tomorrow night, after being out basically all day tomorrow. Because I have to do other things during the workday, out and about. We're just going to be busy. So not only am I going to get back late, but then I'll probably be tired, honestly. I have to go, if I have to go be social, especially at work event things, my social battery just drains my whole battery being is just sapped at that point. So I'm not going to want to stream after that. So no stream tomorrow, which is good because the thing I was going to do tomorrow I did yesterday. I thought ahead. So that was good on me. Which means then next stream after tonight is going to be Thursday night, actual Thursday night stream, Game Awards. I'll be watching. You can watch along with me if you so want to, if you so desire. I'll be doing that. We'll just be hanging out, just watching the Game Awards. They're goofy as hell. I don't expect anything. They're whatever they are. It's a tradition, basically, at this point for me. You know, hold on to the final vestiges of what used to excite you as a young adult or teen, you know? I'd be a fool to think anything Kingdom Hearts will show up. So I'm not even expecting that. So that'll be Thursday. So that'll be the next stream after tonight. There should be a stream Friday night, but we don't need to think about that. That's way too far. Who knows if we're even making it to Friday at this point. So that's all that. Like I said, this is going to be a short stream. This is going to just be like an hour or so. Try to find a decent point. It basically just knocks off an hour so that we don't have an hour then think of it finale-wise on Saturday. I feel like I'm forgetting something else I meant to say, but it is what it is. I guess we should just consider myself lucky I remembered the things I did remember. I'm sure I'll be exposed as having Alzheimer's in like 10 years or so. Yeah, I think that's all I have. So let's just, decompress after a long work day. And just read for like an hour. Get comfortable, as I always say, and let me read you a Higurashi story. Coming in with that hot energy. Where was I? Also, I'm going to be adjusting audio, don't worry. My audio is all kind of fucked up from, or not fucked up, but all over the place from yesterday, so. The Mound Dogs had retreated and reorganized their units. They were now ready to attack again. I don't need to do a... Honestly, we don't have time. I don't have time to recap right now. Just go see what happened in the last stream. This is going to be a short stream anyway. We'll recap, I assume, on Saturday. Of a series recap, I guess. I'll recount everything that had happened in Higurashi. But yeah, I mean, we're hot on the trail. The biggest thing, I mean, there was a lot of action. There was fucking Casca heads fucking rise up. He had a moment. He got to look cool. They were in the bunker. You're all caught up. Takano was furious at them for not being able to bring R back to the clinic, even though they had her in their hands. She gave an order to capture her with all the Mountain Dog's forces put together. Their vehicles were at the clinic, and they were all standing by with the order to attack. Takano wasn't the only one who was furious. Okanogi was as angry as her. That rookie policeman for 5 years ago had grown. He even made Okanogi yield. He couldn't accept that he was defeated, so he was bent on revenge. The reason why the order to attack was held off was because a signal from the transmission device on Irie was momentarily interrupted. They interpreted it to mean that Irie had gone even further down into the basement. The Mountain Dogs assumed that the club members would go even further underground and try to escape by using some kind of secret passageway. That passageway couldn't be that long. They'd have to come up to the surface eventually. The Mountain Dogs were planning to catch them as soon as they surfaced. The villagers were too busy with finishing setup for the festival, so they had no idea what was going on. By this time, the Mountain Dogs had shut down the telephone network. They were afraid the club members would call the police. The only way into the town was being watched by the blockade unit, so the club members couldn't escape that way. R and her friends had to come up to the surface. They couldn't be thinking of staying underground until things settled down. Their lifeline, Tomitake, was in captivity. They couldn't be stupid enough to think of attacking the clinic to rescue him. More than likely, they would try to escape from the village on foot. They would probably call the police to help them. The patrol unit had several cars driving around the village, their eyes peeled for the signal of the transmitter or those on the run. It was time to wait patiently. The battle had returned to the starting point, and the balance of power was even again. Boost that there. Alright, schedule report from Skylark 2. All clear. They can't stay quiet for that long. We have to be patient. They'll turn up. By the way, where's the princess? I believe she's interrogating First Lieutenant Tomitake. She's trying to talk them into joining our side. At this point, that may be the only way to settle matters peacefully. Good thing we captured him alive. Man, does Okanogi really... Is he really that fed up with, fucking... what's-her-face? Takano? Because I'm curious who flips on who first, if that's going to be what we're kind of setting up for. Does one of them flip on the other? Or do they jointly flip against, as I've brought up before, like, flip against, like, Nomura? Tetsuya Nomura. Kingdom Hearts. Second time I'm saying Kingdom Hearts in this stream. Wild crossover. Okay. Okanogi. With the princess gone and no phone calls from Tokyo, I can finally enjoy this cool air-conditioned breeze. Commander, there's a radio call from Tokyo. It's from Nomura-san, and it's for you, not for the Major. Good grief. Phone's no good, they'll use a radio, huh? Well, I wonder what the Queen in Tokyo wants from me now. Okanogi of the Mountain Dogs here. Over. Tomitake was being held in a small meeting room. Oh no, are we gonna see the torture? He was shoved under a desk. He was restrained so tight. Man, are we going to have a moment between Tomotage and Takano, who clearly have a relationship? An interesting relationship that probably has its highs and lows and is like a roller coaster. The interesting moment we saw recently here with Takano, she's basically like, God, I should fucking hate Tomotage, and I want to believe. Basically, I'm paraphrasing it as she wants to believe that she doesn't like him and that she was just using him in that way. But then she also admits to herself that when he was around, even though she acted both outwardly and to herself that she hated his presence and how annoying he was, that she still enjoyed it. It's kind of a complicated relationship, it seems, between them. And I assume I would be interested to see if we see like some expansion on just, the two of them here. This is unfortunate. Okay, he was restrained so tightly that he couldn't even turn around. Takano was sitting in a chair next to the table, staring at a whiteboard. It outlined the research plan that was to be shut down, but Takano wasn't really reading it. She was just staring. Neither of them said a thing. Silence filled the meeting room. It's almost 11 a.m. What a long day. I was woken up so early, and it's not even noon yet. Tomotage didn't reply. Jiro-san. Do you think you can help me? Yeah, give him this. Tomotage is subscribing to the shut the fuck up Friday method. Don't say anything to her. I don't need the mountain dogs. I only want you. The mountain dogs can't comfort me. I finally realized that your insensitivity is the only thing that can. Jiro-san, you knew that, right? That was why you acted that way, right? You thought there was no use in trying to sympathize, and you tried to comfort me. That's what you thought, right? You only pretended to be insensitive to help me enjoy myself, didn't you? I'm not speaking to you as Major Takano. I'm speaking to you as Mio Takano. You still won't talk to me? A hostage may only give his name, rank, and identification number. Takano hung her head. I don't have the key to those handcuffs. Sorry. That's fine. I didn't ask you to remove them. Oh, what a cold line. Tomotage. Yeah. Make her feel bad. Would you like a cup of coffee? No thanks. I don't want you to have to help me go to the bathroom in this position. It was hardly a conversation, but Takano was happy that Tomotage had finally replied. However, that wouldn't solve any of their problems. If you must kill me, I'm alright with that. I made my peace when I was caught. God, we're just here towards the end. We are only just now seeing the fucking Tomotage actually fucking I don't want to say necessarily grow a spine here, but he's you know what I mean? Finally we're seeing some I know I haven't been the most generous to Tomotage as a character here throughout this whole series, but it's nice to see him finally be like, hey, I was on the right path here, And now that I'm seemingly in trouble, I'm not feeding back into the system here. You know, like, I don't know how else to put it, but it's nice to see as a longtime Tomotage doubter, I would guess was how I would describe myself. It is good that he's like, well, we're not fucking cool. Like, me and you, we're not fucking cool right now. Yeah. I was planning to kill you tonight. I'm glad you're... I keep cutting her off, sorry. Sorry, Takano. I'm glad you're prepared for that. Good. Then my resolve won't go to waste. Hey, don't you want to live? If you promise to join me, you won't have to die. My superiors say there's no point in keeping you alive, but I'll work something out. Who are your superiors? I don't know. The person who contacts me calls herself Nomura. I keep wanting to say Nomura. Nomura. But I'm sure that's not a real name. I think my head, when I process the name, immediately doesn't want to, like, associate Tetsuya Nomura. So I'm like, Nomura. So then I try to say it, my head says it like a different way, like Nomura. I don't know. I really don't know. But you must have talked to her before you decided to do this, right? I only talked to her a few times. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. I try not to interrupt Takano again. Excuse me. When I think back, she probably just wanted to use me. But at the time, I thought she was the only person who could understand me. I understand. I knew there was a time when you needed someone to help you. Oh, my heart. I wish I could have been there for you. Oh, Tomotage. Oh. Again, biggest Tomotage doubter here, possibly. But like, he does get the short end of the stick when all is said and done. And I hope his character finds peace here by the end of this series here, because, like, damn, he is done dirty basically through all the different timelines, and how we see he just ends up, you know, dying and killed and everything, and he just wants to take photographs of birds or whatever. If you were there, that would have been so nice. Nobody has died yet. But I'm going to kill them. It doesn't have to be this way. You have your masterminds, but there are other masterminds in Tokyo who oppose them. Most of them want to hush up this issue. You may think it's too late to do anything about it, but you're wrong. Did I read that whole line? Did I say most of them want to hush up this issue? Whatever. There's still something you can do. You can make this whole thing disappear.
なかったことになるのね。
And my grandfather's research on the syndrome will disappear too, won't it?
高野さん、
Takano-san,
君は何がどうなれば満足だったんだい？
what do you want to happen? Takano closed her eyes for a bit while she came up with an answer. Her grandfather's research had been insulted. She wanted those with higher positions of authority to take it seriously. Nomura could make that happen. When the final operation was enacted, the higher-ups of the country would have to read the article, and they would have to believe what's in it. They will authorize the execution of the emergency manual. And yes, it would create an irreversible disaster, but at the same time, the disaster would prove that her grandfather's article had merit.
それで君は満足だったね。
Will you be satisfied with that?
ええ、
Sure,
満足よ。
I'll be satisfied.
それが高野美代の生を受けた理由だから。
That is the purpose of my life.
前に聞いたね。
I asked you before.
なら君はこの作戦が終わったら消えてしまうわけだね。
You're going to disappear after this operation, aren't you?
高野美代の目的は達せられ、地上からなくなり、君は本当の君に戻るんだ。
Mio Takano's purpose will be fulfilled. She will vanish from the face of the earth. You'll return to being
田無美代子。
Miyoko Tanashi.
それが本当の君の名前のはず。
That's your real name, isn't it? How long had it been since she heard that name? Takano closed her eyes slightly.
そうね。
Yeah, that's right.
私はもうすぐ
Soon enough,
田無美代子に帰るのね。
I will return to being Miyoko Tanashi.
田無美代子という少女は両親を失って施設に送られた。
In seemingly a different voice, Toмотake says Tanashi Miyoko lost her parents and was sent to an orphanage as a little girl.
そしてそこで虐待されて死んだ。
Am I hearing that correct? She died after being tortured.
君はそう言ったね。
That's what you said, right?
ええ、言ったわ。
Yes, I did.
私はあの日のあの金網の中に戻らなければならない。
I'm sure there's some explanation for that out there. Yes, I did. I'll have to go back inside of that metal fence.
次郎さんは経験ある？
Have you experienced something like that, Jiro-san? Takano told Toмотake about her horrible experiences, which are simply unimaginable for normal people.
もう一度あそこに戻って。
I'm going to return to that place, and this time, grandfather won't come help me.
今度はおじいちゃんに助けられずに死ぬの。
So, I will die.
そうすれば私はここにいない。
If I was dead, I wouldn't exist here.
私がいなければ入り駅感もなく、こんな妙な運命の行き止まりに迷い込むこともなかった。
If I wasn't here, then there wouldn't be an Irie Institute. I wouldn't be stuck living out such a bizarre fate.
君は
You...
死ぬ気だね。
You're planning to die, aren't you?
作戦が終わったらいろいろとご褒美があることになってるけど、
I'm supposed to be rewarded after the operation,
あまり信じてない。
but I don't believe that.
ある日突然ホームでドンと突き落とされるんじゃないかしら。
I might be suddenly killed one day.
君には心を許せる味方はいないのか？
Don't you have someone who you can trust?
クライアントは所詮クライアント。
My clients are just clients.
味方じゃないわね。
They're not my allies.
でも山犬は味方よ。
But the mountain dogs are.
彼らが私の靴を舐めたくなるくらいの金を弾んでやったからね。
I paid them more than enough.
でも心は許せないだろ。
But you can't truly trust them, can you?
味方は味方よ。
They are my They are my allies.
あなたを捕らえ、今から R たちも捕らえようとしている。
They caught you, And they're trying to catch R and her friends as we speak.
私の役に立ってくれてるわ。
They're helping me.
それは今の君に必要な味方じゃない。
But that's not the kind of ally you need right now.
そうね。
You're right.
今の私に必要な味方じゃない。
They aren't the kind of ally I need right now. Takano paused. She paused because Toмотake had just said exactly what she had been thinking. Since the day Toмотake disappeared, she had been feeling restless. Takano had to admit that she needed Toмотake.
ジローさん、
Jiro-san?
山犬は何億円かのお金で転んでくれたわ。
I paid the Mound Dogs a few hundred million yen to be on my side.
まだ私の手元には1億ちょっと残ってる。
I have a little more than 100 million yen left.
あなたはいくら払えば転んでくれるの？
How much do I need to pay you? He should just be like, I don't want your dirty money.
君が一番欲しいものがいくらで買えるかを考えてみるといい。
You should think about how much it really costs to get what you truly want.
こんな時にキザな例えだこと。
That's rather a pretentious thing to say in this situation.
お金では買えないって言わせたいのね。
You want me to say it's something I can't buy with money, right?
諦めるんだ。
Why don't you give up?
山犬は飼いならせても僕は飼いならせない。
You may be able to tame the mountain dogs with your money, but that won't work with me.
それを転ばせたいと言ってるの？
But I want you on my side.
あなたが望むならお金だけじゃない。
If you want, I'll give you everything.
何でも与えるわ。
Not just money.
私の髪の毛一本からつま先の先端まであなたのものにしていい。
You can do whatever you want to do with me.
靴を舐めろと言うなら今この場で舐めてもいいわ。
If you want me to lick your shoes, I will. No. No, Takano. I don't want you to lick my shoes. No, thank you.
それで
Don't say
も
that.
まだ足りない。
Isn't that enough? Toмотake didn't reply. It was an affirmation by silence, but a signal to Takano that he had already told her everything he meant to say, in the most saddening form of silence for her.
あなたより毎朝早く起きて朝食を作るわ。
I'll make you breakfast every morning.
待ち合わせ場所には必ずあなたより先に来る。
I'll show up before you when we meet.
二度とあなたを待たせて試すような真似をしない。
I'll never make you wait just to test you. Gosh, she's desperate, man.
それで
It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad and just a tinge pathetic. Isn't that enough?
ジローさん、
Jiro-san. Toмотake didn't say a word. He couldn't see her face under the desk, but he could sense it. This wasn't the time to say anything to her. Remaining silent was the only thing he could do. Suddenly, the phone rang. Takano sniffled once and picked it up.
高野よ。
This is Takano.
そう、
I see.
わかったわ。
Understood.
今すぐ行くわ。
I'll be right there. Takano stood up as she put down the phone.
R が発見されたわ。
The Mound Dogs found R.
入江の発信機の反応も一緒。
We found Irie's signal too.
街道が封鎖されていることを知ってて、山中を徒歩で脱出するつもりのようね。
They must already know the roads are closed and are trying to escape through the mountains on foot.
山狩りには手こずりそうだけど、人目がないのは私たちに好都合だわ。
It won't be easy to hunt them there, but we're actually at an advantage since there's nobody else around.
じゃあね、ジローさん。
See you, Jiro-san.
なんとなく、これがあなたとできた最後のおしゃべりになるような気がする。
I think this will be our final conversation.
最後に、あなたから言葉がもらえなくて、残念よ。
I wish I could have heard you say something at the end of it all. And still, Toмотake stayed silent. Takano ran out of the room. She didn't look like she was hurrying back to work.
連中ははじめ近くの山中に出現し村中に出たようです。
It appears that they came out above ground in the mountains.
村人に接触して助けを求めようとしたのかもしれませんが、 偵察車両の1台が逃走車の一部と R を発見追跡
They may have tried to get some help from the villagers, but a patrol vehicle found R and some of her friends and started tailing them.
一時期 R と発信機は別行動しましたが地図の山中で合流しました
For a time, R and the transmitter were operating separately, but they rejoined at the mountains on the map.
チリジリになったのが合流できたということ？
Are you saying they split up and then met back up?
ええ連中は逃走路について十分な打ち合わせをしてやがったんちゅうことでしょうな
They must have planned their escape route, I guess.
山の中なら地の利があると踏んでやがるに違いない
I'm sure they're confident that they know their way around the mountains well enough.
ブッシュが深ければ武器の効果は激減する
If there are too many trees or if the bushes are too high, our weapons won't work as well as they should.
あの空手野郎の考えそうなことですね
That's what the karate guy would think, at least. Okinogi was determined to catch them this time. Kept saying how he was simply caught off guard before. He's so pressed.
今度はもう逃がせないわよ。
They can't escape this time.
ひなみ沢でならともかく、沖宮に入られたらもうどうにもならない。
We must catch them before they get to Okinomiya.
ええ分かってます
Yes, yes, I know.
向こうに地の利がある山中とあっちゃこちらも躊躇したらアウトですが全力投球でいきましょう
Since they know the mountains better than we do, we'll have to get serious.
全般で包囲圧殺します
All our units will besiege and overrun them.
聞こえてるな全般
All units, did you hear that?
こいつはサッカーだ
Think of it like a soccer game.
敵はゴールエリアに侵入してる
Our opponents are going to try and score a goal.
ゴールは沖宮だ
That goal is Okinomiya.
絶対に許すな
Don't let them get there.
特にあの空手野郎だあいつは許さねえ俺の獲物だ
The karate guy is mine, though.
絶対に仕留めてやる
Dude, Akaska is living fucking rent-free in this guy's head. He's upset he lost 5 years ago when it was him and Oishi. He's upset that he lost here. And I bet you in later on in the story, we're going to see Akaska hand him a third L. A third strike, if you will. It says, I will absolutely bring him down.
大鳥了解
Phoenix here, roger that.
ウグイス了解
Nightingale here, roger that.
ヒバリ了解
Skylark here, roger that. Kind of wish they after they signed off, they went, caw.
白鷺了解
Made a bird noise or something. Heron here, roger that.
行くぞ山犬の総力戦だ
All units move out.
こいつがしくじればうちらは積まれてゲームオーバーだ
If we fail, it's game over.
その通りよ。
Quite so.
もう後がない。私も出て陣頭指揮を取るわ。
We cannot fail. I'll take command of the court from here.
富武はここに置いていっても大丈夫。
Do you think it'll be alright to leave Tomatake behind?
大丈夫ですんね
Sure.
完全武装の保安隊員が8人もおりますんね
We're leaving 8 armed security guards behind.
その倍の完全武装兵が来てもしのげます
Even if the enemy came at them with double that number, they'll be fine.
それよりも問題なのはあの空手野郎です
That karate guy will be more of a problem.
奴を侮ることはできませんぜ
We simply can't underestimate him. The security unit guarded the basement of the Erie Institute, which was the heart of the organization. Therefore, they were armed more heavily than anyone else in the Mountain Dogs. Okinogi's confidence in the security unit and his newfound obsession with defeating Akaska made the diversionary plan a success. But at the same time, that meant the decoy club members would have to deal with the full force of the Mountain Dogs. The dogs' white vans ran through the village. While they couldn't fire shots outside, all members were carrying stun guns that fired electric needles. While poor on range, they would subdue a target instantly. With the flip of a switch, they could change between merely stunning or killing their target, the perfect weapon for people like the Mountain Dogs. The vans separated into groups and headed for the mountains. They were planning to surround their enemies and then smoke them out.
隊長前半作戦開始位置に到着しました
Commander, all units are standing by in position.
さすがに展開が早いぜ
Very well.
サンサ全班にありがたい訓示を頼みます
Major, please give the order.
高 高野よ。
Oh, she changed. she's ready to slay. This is Takano.
R だけは生かして捕らえること。
Make sure you capture R alive. You can't lead your force in your standard outfit. You gotta change into your work outfit.
他は殺してしまっても構わないわ。
I don't care if you kill the rest.
この山から逃がしてはダメ。
Don't let them escape.
この山で今日の戦いすべてに決着をつけるのよ。
Finish it right there.
ウグイス、ヒバリ、白鷺、山狩りを開始しろ。
Nightingale, Skylark, Heron, start hunting.
大鳥はゴールキーパーで予備兵力を務める。
Phoenix will be the goalkeeper, and we'll be the reserve.
緊急展開が可能なように常時待機しろ。
Be ready for anything.
大鳥7、了解。
This is Phoenix 7, roger that.
さあ、おっ始める。
Let's begin! The mountain dogs started marching, spreading out in a line with a few meters between them. This mountainside was a savage land where not even the villagers would dare tread. There were some trails, but no paved roads for human beings. It required an enormous amount of diligence and patience to hunt on a mountain like this. All the dogs were very nervous. They were told that most of their enemies were children, but there were a few well-trained adults with them as well. In addition, they were supposedly armed quite heavily, and they knew the layout of the terrain quite well. It was obviously going to be a tough battle.
おこのぎ、
Hokinogi?
山狩りってのは普通どのくらいの人数がいるの？
How many people do you usually need to search a mountain?
一概には言えませんが、多ければ多いほどいいでしょうな。
It's hard to say, but I'm sure that the more people we have, the better the position will be in.
山犬の人数じゃ全員集めても全く足りません。
But all the mountain dogs put together won't be even close to enough.
でも向こうも少人数なんだからそう不利な条件じゃないでしょ。
But our enemies are just a small group of people. Don't you think we're at an advantage?
ほらよく言うじゃない。
Well, you know what people always say.
守備を崩すには3倍の兵力がいるって。
It takes thrice the forces to break a defense.
こっちはさらにその倍以上いるんだ。
We have twice more than that on our side.
まあ、数万の兵力の場合ならそういう数式になるでしょうが。
Well, that theory works if we're talking about thousands of soldiers. It doesn't work in smaller scale battles. The US Armed Forces proved that in the Vietnam War.
なら今回の山狩
Then, in this case,
りおこのぎはどれだけの兵力がいると見てる？
how great of a force do you think you need to search this mountain, Okinogi?
何でもありってことでですか？
Whatever works, I guess.
何でもありって意味がわからない。どのくらいが適正な兵力なの？
I don't know what you mean by that. What would be an appropriate military force?
今朝の政治的奇襲も含めて、向こうの指揮官は相当優秀です。
Considering what happened this morning, we have to conclude that their commander is extremely brilliant.
そして、火器取り扱いのベテランが最低2、
They also have at least 2 weapon experts,
近接格闘のベテランが最低1。
and at least 1 close combat expert.
そこまでは認めるけど、あとは所詮子供でしょ。
Okay, I see that, but the rest are all kids, aren't they?
あとは子供のようですが、多分ここに逃げ込んだからには彼らのテリトリーでしょう。
That's what I think too, but we're in their territory.
地の利が十分な子供一人は、よく訓練された強襲偵察隊1個小隊に匹敵しますね。
One kid who knows an area well can be equal to a finely trained patrol unit.
サンサが考えてますより、相当厄介な相手ですわ。
They are more troublesome than you think, Major.
それを制圧するのにどの程度の兵力が必要
She
だっ
just
ていう
keeps
の？
asking him. Then tell me how great a force you'll need to actually suppress them.
山岳歩兵が1個師団。
We'll need 1 division.
ああ、師団ってのは山犬が3つ4つくっついて大隊。
Ah, let me explain what I mean by that. 3 or 4 mountain dogs make a battalion, and 3 or 4 battalions make a regiment.
そいつがさらに3つ4つくっついて連隊。そいつがさらに3つ4つで師団ですよね。
And finally, 3 or 4 regiments make a division.
30倍の兵力が必要だというの？
Are you saying we need 30 times as many people?
もちろんそれだけじゃ足りません。
Of course, that alone isn't enough.
砲兵陣地に要請して山ほどの事前砲撃が必要ですわ。
We need to get in touch with an artillery base and request an advanced bombardment.
航空支援が得られるならファントムにナパームも
my
ば
God.
らまかせたいところですね。
If we could get help from the air, I'd want a Phantom to drop napalm bombs.
冗談じゃないわ。そんな兵力ここにはないわ。
You've got to be kidding me. We don't have that much force at our disposal.
じゃあそれにはるかに満たない山犬で山狩りをしたらどうなるっていうの？
What do you think would happen if we tried to chase them down with our current manpower?
まあ楽じゃないでしょうな。
Well, it won't be easy, that's for sure. Okinogi laughed boldly. For some reason. He said it wouldn't be easy, but he also seemed to be implying that he was the only one capable of doing it.
連中のテリトリーでしょうが、逃げ込んだのはついさっきです。
Although this is their territory, they just got there a little while ago.
陣地もなけりゃトラップ設置の暇もないはずだ。
They don't have a base, and they didn't even have time to set up traps.
地の利を生かすには時間が足りないはずです。
I don't think they've had enough time to use their knowledge of the mountains to their advantage. As Takano listened to Okinogi's explanation, she felt a little anxious. When she pretended to be friendly with Satoko a long time ago, she used to tell Takano all about her mountain. Takano remembered how Satoko told her about all kinds of traps she'd set up, but she couldn't recall which mountain Satoko was talking about.
ヒバリより本部、標的の一部を発見。
Skylark to base, we've located some of the targets.
R は視認できない。
We can't see R.
現在追跡中。
We're still searching.
人質にできれば十分よ。
We can use them as hostages.
R がいなくても捕らえて。
Capture them even if R isn't there.
ウグイス、聞こえるか？
Nightingale, did you hear that?
近隣の班を応援に回して退路を立て。
Gather up the nearby units and block their escape route.
ウグイス了解。バックアップする。
Roger, we'll back you up.
そりゃそうだよね。
Well, of course.
退路を立ちたいよね。
They'd want to cut off our escape routes, wouldn't they? Some fallen trees were leaning against a much larger pine tree, forming a natural scaffold. A small hut made out of plywood had been built on top of them. It was one of Satoko's many secret bases. It was in a perfect spot since Mion could see the foot of the mountain well.
すごいね。
Wow!
みーちゃんの予想通りだね。
This went just as Michan expected.
さて、我が部にどの程度叶うか、お手並みを拝見しようかね。
Well then, we'll see what they've got, huh?
レナたち、勝てるかな？かな？
Can we win? Can we?
なーに言ってんだか。
What are you talking about?
向こうの指揮官は無能だね。
Our enemy's commander is worthless.
私たちを攻めるなら、山岳訓練を終了したベテラン歩兵が一個師団がいるね。
They need at least one division.
それをせいぜい中隊規模でとはね。
But they're trying to attack us with just a single company.
未熟にも程があるよ。
What are they thinking?
さーて、何人が私たちを相手にしてこの山を無事に降りられるかな。
We'll see just how many of them will be able to go back down the mountain in one piece today.
クソだれ
Damn it!
ヒバリ4攻撃を受けた。
This is Skylark 4, we've been attacked!
クソ逃がすな。
Shit, don't let them get away!
丸太を山ほど転がしてきやがった。
They let loose tons of logs!
ヒバリ6が捻挫で追撃不能。
Skylark 6 sprained his ankle, unable to pursue!
残りで追撃する。
We'll go on without him!
逃がすなよ。
Don't let them escape.
追って追って追いまくれ。 休ませるんじゃね
Keep chasing them until the end. Don't even give them a chance to rest.
え。イバリ11、トラップによる攻撃を受けた。
This is Skylark 11. We've encountered a trap.
イバリ12、13が多分脳震盪だ。
Skylark 12, 13 probably have concussions.
あんなの当たりどころが悪かったら死んでるぞ。
We would have been dead if we weren't lucky.
ヒバリ16、トラップにやられた。
This is Skylark 16. A trap got me.
光線が足に絡まって脱出できない。
I'm tangled in steel wires, unable to escape.
ナイフじゃ切断できない。
I can't cut them with my knife.
番線カッターを持ってきてくれ。
Somebody bring a wire cutter. Chaotic radio transmissions came in, one after another. Obviously, Okanogi had been wrong about the mountain dogs being in an advantageous position.
ウグイス10より本部。
Nightingale 10 to base.
クソ誰が井戸を偽装した落とし穴だ。
Those bastards disguised a pit trap with a well.
隊員2名が閉じ込められて救出不能。
Two members fell in, unable to rescue them.
応援を送れ。
We need help.
やべ。
What? Stop!
どうしたウグイス10。
What's the matter, Nightingale 10?
応答しろウグイス10。
Come in, Nightingale 10.
ウグイス10だ。やられた。
This is Nightingale 10. I've been hit.
俺を後ろから突き飛ばしやがった。
I was pushed from behind.
ウグイス9から11は井戸内。
Nightingale 9 through 11 are in the well now.
健在なれど脱出不能。クソ。
We're unarmed. Or unharmed, but unable to escape. Shit!
本部よりウグイス。バックアップが奇襲を受けた。
Base to Nightingale. Your backup has been attacked.
行動が読まれているぞ。
The enemy can see your movements.
注意しろ。
Watch out!
ウグイス1だ。
This is Nightingale 1.
聞いていいか。どうして動きが読まれるんだ。
I have a question. How can they see our movements?
上空に無人機の影はないぞ。
There's no UAV in the air or anything.
イバリ1より本部追跡に失敗。
Oh shit, 1 second. Yeah, I gotta go fix something real quick. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Alright, Skylark 1 to base. We failed in our pursuit.
見失った。
We lost them.
無理だ。この山はトラップだらけだぞ。
This is impossible. This mountain is full of traps.
この距離を追うだけで何人負傷しちゃってんだ。
We've already had a lot of injured men and only covered a short distance.
白鷺1より本部。R を含む数名を発見した。
Heron 1 to HQ. We found R and some of our friends.
追跡している。至急応援を送れ。
We're going after them. We need assistance immediately. A lot of people laughing here tonight.
連中め。少人数の利点を生かして分散しやがった。
They split up, huh?
か乱してトラップで絡め取ろうってんだな。
Their plan is to confuse and entangle us with traps.
白鷺は用心しろ。
Heron 1, be careful.
向こうはお前らをトラップ地帯におびき寄せるつもりだ。
They're luring you into a trapped area.
敵は各個に分散し、陽動と奇襲のゲリラ戦術で抵抗してくる気だ。
They're splitting up to divert us and are planning an ambush.
高度だぞ。
This is an extremely advanced tactic.
すでに他班でトラップとアンブッシュで負傷者が多発している。
There have already been many injuries in the other units due to those traps and ambushes.
用心しろ。
Be careful.
気合い入れてかかれ。白鷺1。
Be prepared for anything. Heron 1.
白鷺1。
Heron 1?
白鷺2より本部。
Ooh, that's some music. Heron 2 to base.
白鷺1がトラップに。
Heron 1 is trapped.
誰か班長を吊り捨てるロープを切れ。
Come on, somebody cut the rope.
残りは追撃しろ。R を逃がすな。
The rest of you, keep going. Don't let R escape.
ウグイス1より本部。
Nightingale 1 to base.
ウグイス7たちが沈黙した。
Nightingale 7 and his team have gone silent.
襲撃にあった可能性が否定できない。
It's very possible they've been attacked.
応援を送る許可を。
Allow us to send assistance.
白鷺5 隊員3名が上空から降ってきたドラム缶の直撃を受けて混沌した。
This is Heron 5. 3 of our unit members have been knocked out by falling drums.
なんなんだここは。
What the hell is this?
こんなのがまだまだあるってのか。
Are there more of those ahead of us?
ヒバリ13だ。
This is Skylark 13.
やられて倒れてたようだ。
I was down. Ah,
今一人発見した。
there's one of them now.
追跡する。
I'll chase them down.
やろう。よくもやってくれやがったな。
Damn it, I'm going to get you.
よせやめろヒバリ13
Stop Skylark 13.
お前が一人で叶う相手じゃない
You can't take them down by yourself. Oh, how. Come out, wherever you are. Come on, this way.
クソガキが。
Damn kid.
待ちやがれ。
Wait right there. Skylark 13 chased Satoko with an enraged snarl on his face, but Satoko ran through the woods effortlessly. Small branches scratched his body all over, but he continued to chase Satoko. Satoko ran like the wind. To her, she was simply running in her own backyard. Who would get injured in a place like that? As Skylark 13 ran after her, he passed many mountain dogs who couldn't even move because of Satoko's traps. The more of his trap fellows he saw, the more he wasn't sure if the girl he was after was really a girl. She was just something that looked like one. She's a fucking demon. He reached an area where logs were stacked up in piles. It seemed like the trees in the area were being chopped down. It was a rather strange scene. On his way there, Skylark 13 saw a member from a different unit hanging upside down from a tree, and he also saw feet sticking out of a pitfall. There was a member whose foot was tied to the root of a tree with a device that looked like a pair of handcuffs. He reached this area after seeing all of them. He suddenly started sweating all over his body, for Skylark 13 realized that he had been lured into a trap. He had been caught in a snare. She had tricked him. The girl was standing in the middle of the open area, calmly balancing on a stump. She was simply looking at him. Shit, he thought. She's trying to lure me in. Lure me
ヒバ
out.
リ13だ。
This is Skylark 13.
一人を広場みたいなところで追い詰めた。
I chased one of them to an open field.
捕まえてやる。捕まえてやる。
I'll catch her. I'll get her.
こちらウグイス7
This is
お前の
Nightingale.
後ろで吊るされてる男だ
This is Nightingale 7. I'm the one hanging behind you.
そいつは少女じゃない少女の姿をした悪魔だ
That isn't a girl. That's a demon.
そいつの
That's what I said.
地獄まで誘い込まれるぞ
If you chase her, you'll end up in hell.
本部よりヒバリ13。
Base to Skylark 13.
それで十分だ。
That's enough.
応援を待て。
Wait for assistance.
今そこに最寄りの隊員を向かわせている。
Some nearby members are on their way. Just laughing at him. Oh, ho, 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 ho.
どうなさいましたの？
What's the matter, huh?
私を捕まえたければ、あともう10メートルくらいは歩く必要がございますわよ。
If you want to catch her, you need to step forward about 10 meters. It was only 10 meters. If he walked about 10 meters, he could catch that bratty little girl. How many steps did he have to take to walk 10 meters? If he took 10 steps to walk 10 meters, that meant there would be 10 more chances of stepping on a trap. But it was only 10 steps. He can catch her after taking just 10 steps.
そう思いなら、まずは最初の一歩を踏み出してみればいいではございませんの。
Well, if you really want to catch me, then why not take your first step?
ほらほら。
Come on. Shit. How was he going to take his first step? That area with weeds looked suspicious, but the bare ground looked suspicious too. What if he jumped onto a tree stump? No. That was what she wanted him to do. Cold sweat was dripping off of Skylark 13's body. He only needed to take 10 steps, so why was he so nervous about taking the first one?
ヒバリ13
The Skylark 13, from what I can see, the tree stump looks okay.
切り株だ
You could jump on them.
押せヒバリ13
Don't, Skylark 13.
さっき根っこで足を縛られてたウグイス8だ
This is Nightingale 8, the one tied to the tree root.
切り株はきっと罠だ
The tree stumps must be traps.
辺りは切り株だらけというのがうさんくさい
And there are too many stumps there. And that's just too suspicious.
聞こえるかヒバリ13
Can you hear me, Skylark 13?
物資は危険だ
Don't go into any bushes, it's dangerous.
草むらは踏むな。
Don't step on the weeds.
むき出しの土もやばい。
The open ground is dangerous too.
だれ
Shit.
どこを踏めばいいんだよ。空を飛んでけってのかよ。
Then where should I step? Do you want me to fly?
まだいらっしゃいませんよ。
What on earth are you doing?
私退屈ですからそろそろ失礼しますわよ。
I'm growing bored waiting for you. Oh, ho, 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 ho.
こちら
Just,
スマキにされて転がっているウグイス9だ。
this is Nightingale 9, the one who's tied up.
今標的の一人にその頭を蹴られている。
My head is being patted by one of the targets.
そこはトラップフィールドだと言ってるぞ。
She says that it's a trap field. Eh?
その待ち構えている小娘の最高傑作が設置されているらしい。
Supposedly, that girl's magnum opus is set up there.
油断するな。
You should be extra careful. You've gotta be kidding me. Did he say magnum opus? What does he mean by magnum opus? And what about all the other traps? Weren't they her magnum opus? Weren't they, I should read it as, weren't they her magnum opus? We mountain dogs are professionals. We're paid to engage in battle. Yet this little girl is playing us like fools. Can we not beat her? Can't we beat that little brat? This must be a bluff. How is it possible for a trap to exist that's worse than what I've seen so far? That's a bluff. That must be a bluff. Now I'm definitely going to get her. Should I start with my right foot or my left? The girl suddenly lifted her hand and thrust it at me. Is she trying to tell me to stop?
5歩ですわ。
5 steps.
何
What?
何事もなく5歩無事に歩けたらあなたの勝利ということでいいですわよ。
If you could take 5 steps without stepping on a trap, you win.
ほほそれは大した自信じゃねえ
I see. You're confident, aren't you?
か。もし俺が5歩何もなく歩けたらどうするつもりだ。
If I take 5 steps safely, what are you going to do?
そうですわね。
Let's see.
私の敗北を認めて降参して差し上げてもよろしくってよ。
I'll admit my loss and surrender. How about that?
私今日は最高にトラップ脳が絶好調ですの。
My brain is as sharp as ever today.
あなたを5歩で絡め取ってご覧に入れますわ。
I'll get you before you take your 5th step.
クソガキ
Stupid fucking kid.
落ち着けヒバリ13。挑発に乗るな。
Calm down, Skylark 13. Don't let her provoke you.
そいつは悪魔だ。外見に騙されるな。
She's a demon. Don't let her appearance fool you.
そいつは人の心を読むぞ。
She can
俺
read.
たちの叶う相手じゃねえ。
She can read your mind. We can't defeat her.
本部よりヒバリ13。
Base to Scarlet 13.
深追いするな。
Don't go any further.
十分だ。
That's enough.
近くまでウグイスが応援に来ている。
Nightingale is almost there.
その場で耐えろ。
Just stay in position.
それじゃ俺の負けってことじゃねえかよ。
But that would mean I'd lose.
こうだと
5 steps.
こうだと
5 steps, you say?
乗ってやるぜ。5歩だな。
Damn it, I'm in then. 5 steps, right?
たったの5歩だな。
Just 5 steps, right?
男が何度もくどいですわね。
How many times do you need to repeat it?
愛のささやき以外は男は一言で十分ですのよ。
A man should only say things once unless he's whispering words of love.
このガキゃ
Damn you, kid.
ヒバリ13。
Skylark 13, for the love of God, please don't move.
読まれるぞ。劇場は思考を読まれるぞ。
She's going to read your mind.
落ち着け。クールになれ、ヒバリ13。
Calm down.
そうさ。俺はヒバリの13番。
That's right. I'm Skylark 13.
ミントみたいにクールなのは通りさ。
I'm cool-headed, just like Golgo.
だから熱くならずによく考えろ。
So I need to keep a level head and think.
そうさ。俺の思考はすでに絡め取られていた。
Right. She's already onto my thoughts.
奴に向かって5歩進まなければならないって時点で思考を絡め取られてたぜ。
She could see how I'll think if I have to take 5 steps toward her.
ほほ
Hmm?
それはどういう意味でございますの？
Whatever do you mean by that? Heh, 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 heh. Ah! This is what it means.
前じゃねえ。後ろに5歩歩くんだよ。
I won't go forward. I'll take 5 steps backwards. I did it. I did it. I was certain it was a trick. If I take 5 steps, I win. She didn't say I had to move forward. I can go backwards too.
だからあなたは5歩でおしまいなんですのよ。
And that's why you're done with those 5 steps. Oh my god, a barrel from the skies. Oh my... This animation... Was he crushed? Where from the heavens? An oil drum or something. What? Okay. Skylark 13 down. That was wild. That was wild looking. That fool. He let her mess with him. Satoko's remarkable performance wasn't just her own effort alone. Mion had mastered the geography and the enemy's formations while instructing Satoko. Satoko marked all of her traps on the map. When that map and Mion's ability to command combined, the club was simply unbeatable. Rika and Hanyu, who knew about the mountain almost as well as Satoko, relayed orders from Mion, Takechi, and Orina. Then they prepared for the ambush. The traps didn't always activate when they were stepped on. Sometimes Kechi and the others were setting them off at the right moment. Kechi and Rina continued to fight everywhere according to Mion's orders. Sometimes they'd hide, and sometimes they'd attack. One by one, they eliminated their enemies. Satoko's traps had been taking down most of the enemies, but Kechi's surprise attacks with his bat had worked out successfully too. Not even the well-trained mountain dogs could respond to attacks after being stunned by these traps. Humans need a little time to react. According to the research done by the US Armed Forces, the average reaction time is 15 seconds. In other words, any soldier is powerless during the 15 seconds following a surprise attack. That's just fucking science, apparently. Shortening those 15 seconds is one goal of their training, but no matter how much they train, it will never become zero. The radio communications had actually made things much worse for them. The more they heard about damage done to the other units, the more worried they got. That slowed them down and made them think less strategically. At that point, as far as Mion was concerned, the mountain dogs were no longer a force to be reckoned with. Me! Kechi was successful! He bundled them up all nicely together, Nippa! Oh. Satoko did too. She finished off all of them. Got it. Looks like we got 5 more points with this one, huh? Okay, my lovelies. What are we gonna do now? About 30% of your southern army has dropped out. At least 1 or 2 men have to respond to calls from injured soldiers. And what that means is that they hardly have anyone left. Any decent commander would order a retreat right now. This is Skylark 1. We have too many injured men in our unit. We don't have anyone to continue the pursuit. We have no other choice but to give up. Skylark 1, we might have been badly damaged, but we're definitely narrowing the enemy's range of action. You may not withdraw. Maintain the front with what you've got. Shit. Skylark 1 to all units. Commander's basically telling us to die. Check your supplies once more and we'll resume the march.
でも高野さんたちは頭に血が上ってるからそれを許可しない。
Takano-san's so mad she won't that she won't allow it.
指揮官は撤退を却下され、士気が低下したまま追撃を再開。
The morale of the unit commander is down because his request to withdraw was denied. And they have to resume the march.
こいつは叩く絶好のチャンスだね。
Here's our chance.
リカちゃん、
Rika-chan,
レナと合流して Z 地区に誘い込んで。
meet up with Rina and lure them into Section Z.
あそこのトラップはだいぶごっついよ。
Traps there or something else.
羽生はケイちゃんに X 地区に転戦しろと連絡を。
Hanyu, tell Ki-chan to move on to Section X.
こんな面白いゲームはないね。
What a fun game. Ow, ow, ow.
ミオンが絶好調なのです。
Mion's in perfect form.
今のミーが生まれる時代を間違えていたら歴史に名を残しかねないのです。
If she was born in a different era, her name would have been in the history books.
私に言わしゃ、ネルソンも東郷もまあまあってとこだね。
If you ask me, Nelson and Toga are both mediocre.
もう裏山全体が手に取るようだよ。
It's like I can see this mountain inside and out. Her head is getting so large. Mion was the type to display exponential ability. When she's down, she's at rock bottom. But when she's in perfect form, it's just terrifying. That was the blood of the head of one of the three families of Hinamizawa. If Mion had been around for a historical battle, she would have changed history. If she were to join Napoleon, Siberia would be French territory. If she were to join Hitler, Europe would belong to the Third Reich. Wow. What a statement. And even with all that, the battle in the mountains was simply a diversion. Just as Mion had expected, everything had collapsed into chaos. If the Mound Dogs could think calmly, they could have realized they hadn't seen any adults. But they didn't notice, confused as they were by all the attacks they were suffering. Of course, that too was part of Mion's plan. The scale of the diversion would hide the fact that there was a rescue unit going to get Tomatake. Therefore, the more chaotic the battle grew on the mountain, the better it was for the rescue unit. That was why she chose such an ostentatious method of fighting. But at the same time, that was exactly the kind of fight Mion preferred. There's an extra that there. She didn't intend to let it be just a diversion. She was planning to destroy the dog's main force on these mountains. Yet, most frightening of all was our home advantage. It wasn't exaggerating to say the theory that the defenders have thrice the advantage over assailants is heavy due to their advantage of location. In that case, how was the rescue unit doing? Were they at a disadvantage because they were on the offense? Oh, we should break there then, just so that we get as clean of a start here. I maybe could have gone a little longer. Probably could go for, honestly, like another half hour, but I'd rather have like a clean entry into our finale here. See what the rescue unit is doing. Also, I don't know if you could tell. Probably can't because I was sniffling. I like sneezed once, like a while ago, and then all of a sudden I just became massively congested sounding. And I've been gross, so sorry about that. Yeah, that'll we'll just call it here. I know it's short. It was supposed to be short. I told you it was gonna be short. But this is good. I think, like I said, I'm willing to go super long on Saturday for however long it takes to finish. And it'll be fun. It'll be fun. So if you're normally a YouTube VOD watcher, if you care to, if you can, if you're available and you want to watch live, Saturday, in that like early noon range for me. I'm saying like hopefully in that 12 to 1. Depends on how early I wake up and stuff. And then we just go till the end. I'll read for 12 hours if I must. I don't think it'll be that long, but if I must. Finale. This is the second to last one. Like I said, recap what I said at the start. No stream tomorrow. stream Thursday night, so 2 nights from now. Starting around what time it is, almost like now, 2 nights from now. Game Awards. Jeff Keighley's whole big shindig. I'll be watching that. You can watch with me. We'll do that live. I hope to get that video of the archive of the Game Awards up on Friday, just the next day, as well, along with this stream. It's going to kind of be awkward feeling, but you'll see. I'll split them a bit. But basically, so then you have the chance to watch the Game Awards, not live, but still with me on the archive VOD if you want. I don't know if anything crazy is happening, but whatever. And then also this, like I said, this will also go up on Friday, should timing-wise. Then you have that day to watch it. It's short. I mean, this is just, what, an hour? And then finale on that. Other than that, so that's Thursday night. That's the Game Awards. Friday night should be a stream. Probably going to start a new big game for the channel. It'll basically be the start of what we call, like, season of the year 2025 here for the channel, because it's not going to be something I plan to finish, you know, by the end of December or anything. So basically the first game of the 2025 year, if you want to look at it like that. Not giving any more information than that. You'll just have to see what it is on Friday, but it'll be a big one. It'll be a big game, like lengthwise. It's not going to be not going to be a shorty. It's not a short game like Obra Dinn like we did or anything like that. It won't be a wheel spin or anything like that. So I'm going to get my congested sounding ass out of here. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you're ready for the finale. I'm very excited for the finale stream of this. Should be a blast. Should be a blast. Have a nice rest of your night. It's still early. Feels weird how early it is. I got some things to do for the rest of my night, so I have plans. So take it easy, stay safe, stay well. Maybe see you either live or in the VOD of the finale of Higurashi, or Thursday night if you watch the Game Awards with me. If not, it's fine. It's whatever. I don't know how else to. I was trying to think of something to say. If not, I'll see you in Higurashi. That's what I meant to say. On Saturday day. So long. Bye.